The Blood Egg Ritual, Part 1. The Crimson Egg in the Dark Woods. They told us Easter was for joy, for painted eggs and chocolate bunnies. But no one spoke about the red egg. No one spoke about the hollow eyes. And tonight, I finally understood why. The night air was colder than it should have been. The scent of damp earth and old wood hung heavy as Ellie Harper, just 14, sprinted through the dense forest. Branches clawed at her face and arms, leaving angry red marks. But she didn't stop. She couldn't. Somewhere behind her, she heard it. The soft, thumping sound. Not footsteps, not an animal. A hop. Heavy, rhythmic, too large for any rabbit. "Ellie," a voice crooned through the trees. "Where do you think you're going, sweetheart?" It was Mr. Callahan, the old groundskeeper. But his voice wasn't right. It was too calm, too sweet, like a lullaby before a slaughter. Ellie's lungs burned, but she pushed harder, deeper into the woods. That's when she saw it. Barely 10 feet away, half hidden behind a crumbling headstone in the old cemetery, sat a single egg. Not pastel blue, not sunshine yellow, but deep, dark crimson, the color of dried blood. And it pulsed. Ellie's stomach twisted. She knew this wasn't part of the Easter hunt. The other kids were still back in town, chasing after plastic eggs filled with candy. This was something else. Then came the whisper, right in her ear. "Find me, little one." She spun around, but no one was there. Only the trees, swaying like silent witnesses. Ellie reached for the egg, fingers trembling. The shell felt warm, too warm. A crack ran along its surface, and something inside shifted, making a wet, sloshing sound. A guttural growl rumbled through the night. Ellie's eyes darted up, and there, standing at the edge of the clearing, was the hollow hair. It looked like a rabbit, but grotesquely wrong. Towering nearly 7 feet tall, matted gray fur clung to a skeletal frame. Its ears drooped like wilted flowers, and where its eyes should have been were 2 empty, endless holes. A grin stretched unnaturally across its face, revealing jagged, yellow teeth. "Time to come home, Ellie," it rasped. Panic surged through her, and without thinking, Ellie grabbed the egg and ran. The forest seemed to twist around her, every shadow a claw, every tree a twisted figure. She could hear the creature's hops now, closer, heavier, and somewhere in the distance, the town's church bell tolled midnight. She was running out of time. To be continued. Part 2. The Shadows of Greystone Chapel. Ellie's legs screamed with every step as she tore through the underbrush, still clutching the crimson egg. The sound of the creature's monstrous hops echoed behind her, sometimes closer, sometimes maddeningly distant. She burst through a break in the trees and stumbled onto a narrow dirt road. For a moment, the eerie silence smothered the night. No wind, no crickets, not even the hoot of an owl. Then a flicker of movement. Lantern lights. Ellie's heart soared. The townsfolk. She sprinted toward them, waving desperately. "Help! Please! It's coming!" The figures stepped into the light, and Ellie's blood turned to ice. It wasn't a rescue party. It was the townspeople. But their faces were wrong. Eyes glazed, smiles stretched too wide, each of them cradling blood-streaked baskets filled with cracked, rotting eggs. Mr. Callahan stood at the front, his hand resting on a crooked staff carved with rabbit skulls. "There she is," he crooned. "Our little blessing. You found the crimson egg." Ellie shook her head in disbelief. "What? What are you talking about?" Mrs. Clemens, the town baker, stepped forward. The apron she wore was splattered, not with flour, but with something darker, thicker. "It's the night of the blood egg, child," she whispered. "Every 7 years, one child chosen. The hare comes for you. The town survives." Ellie's stomach lurched. You knew about this?" "You sent us into those woods on purpose." They all smiled. A low, bone-chilling growl sounded from behind her. Ellie spun around. The hollow hare stood there, steam rising from its maw, crimson-streaked claws flexing, its hollow eyes fixed on the egg in her trembling hands. "Complete the ritual," Mr. Callahan hissed. "Place it at the altar, girl. Spare yourself the pain." Ellie's gaze darted toward Greystone Chapel, the crumbling church that loomed at the far end of the clearing. Its crooked steeple pointed like a finger to the sky. Run or obey. Die now or later. She chose neither. With a surge of adrenaline, Ellie hurled the crimson egg into the undergrowth. It shattered on a jagged rock. A burst of foul, black ichor sprayed the earth, and something inside gave a shrill, inhuman scream. If this was where it started, it had to be where it ended. She pushed the rotting wooden doors open. Inside, the chapel reeked of mildew, old blood, and something worse. Candles lined the walls, their flames sputtering. In the center of the altar sat a massive stone slab, and on it, a book bound in flayed gray skin. The Book of the Crimson Hare. And Ellie knew, whatever power controlled this cursed tradition, its name, its true nature, would be inside those pages. And she was done running. To be continued. Part 3. Secrets of the Crimson Hare. Ellie's breath came in ragged gasps as she staggered toward the stone altar. The old chapel's floorboards groaned underfoot, dust thick in the air. Faint echoes of forgotten prayers lingered like the ghosts of a congregation long dead. The book before her was worse than anything she could have imagined. Bound in what looked unmistakably like human skin, its surface was etched with twisted runes that seemed to writhe when her eyes lingered. Ellie's fingers trembled as she opened it. The pages pulsed, written in a language both alien and sickeningly familiar. Yet Ellie could somehow understand every word, as if the book spoke directly to her bones. On the night of the blood egg, a child shall bear the vessel. By offering of innocence, the crimson hair is appeased. The town endures. The bloodline remains. Her stomach turned. Illustrations littered the pages, drawings of ancient rituals, villagers dancing under blood-red moons, children being shackled to stone slabs, monstrous hair-like beasts feasting on hearts still warm. At the final page, a name. Edgar Callahan. Her eyes widened. Mr. Callahan, the man who led the townsfolk, the same bloodline that founded Greystone centuries ago. She read on. He who bears the mark of the founder shall forever command the beast. And should the vessel be destroyed, the bloodline must perish to break the curse. A bloodline curse. That's why they hunted her. Why every 7 years a child was chosen. Not random, not fate, control. A clatter echoed behind her. Ellie whirled. The hollow hair was there, its hulking body wedged in the doorway, black saliva stringing from its maw. The townsfolk stood behind it, eyes empty, faces blank as death masks. Time to complete the offering, Mr. Callahan snarled. Ellie's hand closed around an ancient iron candlestick. You first, old man. Without thinking, she lunged. The candlestick smashed into the creature's face, making it reel. But it barely slowed. Callahan shrieked, gesturing wildly. Stop her! She must be the vessel! Ellie grabbed the book, darting toward a cracked, stained glass window. The hollow hair lunged, claws raking across her back. She screamed but didn't stop. With one final surge, she hurled herself through the window. Glass exploded around her. She landed hard in the overgrown cemetery behind the chapel, the book still in her grip. To be continued. Part 4. The Survivor's Warning. Ellie scrambled through the tangled graveyard, her breath white in the cold night air. The chapel loomed behind her, broken stained glass catching the moonlight like jagged teeth. The hollow hair's inhuman howls still echoed, its lumbering body crashing through the brush. Blood streaked down Ellie's torn sweater. The book weighed heavy in her hand. She ducked behind a crumbling angel statue, heart pounding so violently it hurt. Somewhere beyond the graves, a voice whispered, "Over here." Ellie froze. "Who's there?" A frail figure emerged from the shadows. A woman, hunched and weathered, skin like parchment, white hair matted beneath a ragged shawl. Her eyes, however, sharp, alive, and filled with terror. "Name's Agatha," she rasped. "Been waiting for one like you." Ellie clutched the book tighter. "Did you send that letter?" She reached out and pulled Ellie deeper into the graveyard, to a sunken crypt half swallowed by earth and vines. Inside, Flickering candlelight revealed walls covered with drawings, crude images of the hollow hair, of blood rituals, of children tied to altars, names scratched into stone. Agatha pointed to one. That was me. 1947. I escaped. Ellie's eyes widened. You survived the blood egg? The old woman's face twisted in pain. Barely. I ran, hid for years. But they find you. Always. Unless... Her voice dropped. Unless you end the bloodline. Ellie's stomach lurched. You mean kill Callahan? Agatha nodded. And the beast too. But the hair? It's bound to the book. Destroy that, and it weakens. Kill the master, it dies with him. The book can be burned? Agatha hesitated. Only under the blood moon. Same as tonight. But you'll need its blood to light the flame. Who is blood? A monstrous shriek echoed through the cemetery. The hollow hair. Agatha's eyes shone. The beasts. Ellie's grip on the candlestick tightened. Agatha shoved a rusted dagger into Ellie's hand. Silver, old silver, cuts through the curse. Finish this, girl, for us all. Ellie looked back toward the chapel's glow, jaw set. Time to end a family tradition. To be continued. Part 5. Blood Moon Reckoning. Ellie crouched at the edge of the clearing. The twisted chapel bathed in the eerie crimson glow of the rising blood moon. Her fingers clutched the old silver dagger Agatha had given her. The book throbbed against her chest like a second heart. Ahead, the hollow hair prowled near the altar, its grotesque form hunched and twitching. Mottled fur hung in clumps, and its eyes gleamed an unholy red. The townsfolk stood in a circle, chanting low and guttural. At the center, Edgar Callahan, cloaked in tattered ceremonial robes, an ancient medallion at his throat. Bring the vessel, Callahan bellowed. 2 villagers dragged a struggling child forward, a small boy, no older than 7, his face streaked with tears. Ellie's blood ran cold. Not again, not tonight. She took a deep breath and stepped into the clearing. I'm the vessel you want, old man. The chanting stopped. Callahan turned, his gaunt face breaking into a wicked grin. There you are, the last of the cursed blood. Ellie raised the dagger. Not for long. The hollow hair lunged. Ellie dodged, the beast's claws tearing the earth where she'd stood. She slashed out, the silver blade grazing its shoulder. Smoke hissed from the wound, and the creature shrieked in agony. Agatha was right. The villagers surged forward. Ellie grabbed a torch from the altar's side and hurled it onto the ancient book. Flames roared to life, the book writhing as if alive. Shrieks filling the night air. Callahan. Agatha appeared at Ellie's side, a sad, weary smile on her face. You did it, girl. Greystone's free. Ellie dropped the bloodied dagger. The boy she'd saved clung to her leg. She glanced toward the horizon as dawn's first light broke. A new day, a clean slate. But in the ashes of the book, a single page remained unburned. A symbol, faintly glowing. Ellie swallowed hard. Some curses don't die easy. The end. If this story chilled your bones, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more twisted tales. New horrors every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, only on Dead Hour Tales.